Welcome back to another episode of the Bowling Night Podcast. I believe this is episode 13. It's been a very long while. Baby's gone, so we're welcomed back up.
We're back upstairs.
We're back upstairs. As long as the baby's gone, we're allowed to record up here. Colby's got to turn off the TV so he doesn't get distracted.
It's literally like the same picture that rolls by on the Roku TV, and I'm that ADHD that I'll be like, the same horse? Is he going to move the same way?
Maybe they changed something this time.
Is it new sunset colors?
Oh, look at his new hat.
He's got some shoes on.
No, that's probably good to get that turned off. Yeah, man, I don't know. I've had a fucking long weekend too. We went to Bullwinkles on Friday night.
Bullwinkles, I haven't been there in forever. Did you do the go-karts?
No. We went and hit the Winks though. That's what I kept calling
The
it.
Winks?
The Winks. Bullwinkles.
Oh,
I kept calling. I was like, Abby, you want to go hit the Winks tonight? You know, and she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? But me and Tim, we were working together like all day on Friday, and we installed 3 storm doors on Friday at this lady's house, and so we were just like the whole day we're like, dude, we're ready to get off work, get fucked up, you know, because those things are just like annoying and finicky, you know, and dude, the people were so nice that we were working for, like. At one point in time, like right before we were leaving, I was showing the guy how the door closes automatically or whatever, and he's like, man, I'm just gonna get stoned all night and watch that thing shut. And I was like, dude, I'll come back over if you want. Like,
what a weird fucking thing to say.
No, dude, that's totally something I would do. Like,
Did you get stoned and watch the door shut?
yeah. Cause dude, I had the closer working minty, dude. I had the thing adjusted perfect, so it was like, you know, and it would shut.
I have a question.
What?
It was like, say on the front door.
Yeah.
Was the front door open and it closed?
Oh, are you talking about when it gets the back pressure because
Yeah.
the door's shut? Yeah, that happened on every one of his doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it happens on all of them. On all the storm doors. Like,
It doesn't happen
fucked
on
with it
all
for
of
like
them,
an
but-
hour, and I could not get it. Like, it either closed all the way with the door open, and
Yeah.
then if the door was shut, it wouldn't close.
Yeah.
And then if I did get it to shut, you open the door, and then the door slams, and I was like, ink, 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 and I was like, dude, I'm gonna show you this. This is a hair of a turn. Watch. And
Yep.
then I was like, so I'm leaving it at that. Okay.
Yeah,
that shit fucking.
for the rando listener out there that probably doesn't install storm doors for a living, a storm door goes on the exterior of like your entry door, right? And if your entry door, like your main front door, is so tightly sealed, if your main door is shut, that storm door won't close because the back pressure. And so that happened. And usually when I try and explain that to customers, it's a 50-50 shot if they're going to be like cool with that or not. You know? But it's not really.
They want you to change science.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't like that. You're like, I didn't design
You're
physics.
like, okay, well, here's what we'll do. I'll take this drill bit and I'm gonna send it right through your fucking middle, into the middle of your door, and then
You didn't used to have an eyelet, but now you can see who's at your door.
yeah, you got a peephole. But no, I told him that, and he's like, well, and he said, and I was like, thank you for understanding, because I showed him like, look, if I open the screen, it shuts, you know, and he actually said that. He was like, well, I mean, that's kind of a good problem to have, I guess, is our door seal's so good, you know? But he was cool, dude. At the end of the day, he's like, I don't know if you guys get tipped, but first round's on me. And so he gave me and Tim both 20, and we're like, sweet, dude, we're hitting the Winks after this. He's
We're
laughing.
hitting the wings.
And so we go over to the Winks, dude, and it was me, Tim, and Abby. And so I drove us over there, I think, over in Abby's car. Doesn't matter. We get over to the Winks, and we go up to the bar, because Bullwinkles is cool now. When was the last time you were at Bullwinkles?
Forever ago. I did not know they had a bar. The last time I was there was for a birthday party, and I played laser tag for the very first time ever. So I
Really?
was like middle school.
See, we tried to fucking play the tag, dude, but there was
I love that shit.
there was nobody there, and so I don't think they were running it, because we just waited outside of the guitar, like the laser tag, for a while, because we were like, dude, we should go play laser tag.
You're like, they're inside. They'll come out.
Yeah.
It was very helpful.
Yeah, and then it was just like after like probably 45 minutes, we were like, okay, yeah, let's go. So we bail on the laser tag. We play a little bit. Okay, so we get there. We immediately go and hit the bar. I get a rum punch, and the lady behind the bar is making them strong. Okay.
How much is a drink at the Winks?
The Winks? They'll give you a good solid rum punch for $12.
All right.
And so that had like triple sec. It had like Malibu in it, pineapple juice, you know, like all of this fruity shit. So I'd pound one of those. I'm like, that was fucking delicious, you know. And as I literally pounded it before we had even made it upstairs. So
What
did
is
Tim.
it? A rum what?
It was like rum. It was like Malibu. So Malibu isn't actually a rum. It's like a liqueur.
What was it called though?
It was called a rum punch.
Okay.
So actually, I don't even think I had the Malibu. It doesn't matter. It was a fruity ass drink. I crushed this thing, dude, and it works. You know, it's working good. And so we go over to the stupid game where you have to cut the rope. You know, it's like a claw machine, but you have to speed stop it, and then it cuts it, and it's a big prize, right?
Huh.
Immediately wasted like $25 trying to get this stupid thing. Like fast, dude. Like Tim was like, that was it? And we were like, dude, how much is a spin on this fucking thing? Like $5 a pop? And so
That was it.
go and get another drink. Go upstairs, start playing Guitar Hero, you know, having fun or whatever. We go outside, we start playing. So I had like another rum punch. I think I drank a third rum punch. Then we go outside, start playing mini golf. And Tim will vouch for this. He will vouch. Fucking first hole in one, dude. I'm fucking drunk at this point, you know. And so I think I had drank 3 rum punches before we made it outside, and then I'm drinking a cider as we're like golfing, you know. And so we're like roaming around on the golf course. I literally hit 2 hole in ones. Like, and so I hit the first hole in one. Everybody's like, "Oh shit," you know. And I was like, "There's no way." Tim hits a hole in one on like the 3rd or 4th hole. My older brother calls me. I'm literally on the phone with my older brother, and I one hand just whacked it, hit another hole in one. And
It's
I was
like that drunk, like superpower. You just get good at everything somehow. You just drain every shot.
I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" I was on the phone with him. I'm like, "Dude, I just hit a hole in one while I was on the phone."
Was there like kids there too playing?
I think somebody saw us
It'd be
do
like, you're on the boat, I'm fucking just drunk, and it was like, well, what's this guy doing?
Well, it's great because the last time me and Tim and all of us, we were at Bullwinkles mini golfing, me and Tim almost got in a fist fight. So
With each other or other people?
No, other people.
Oh,
I think I've told this story on the
yeah.
pod. And
Nah, that's funny.
and so we are like, okay, Bullwinkles fun. I'm way too fucking hammered to be at Bullwinkles at this point, and it's only like 10 o'clock, maybe 10:15. And so
3 rum punches in, a cider.
3 rum punches and a cider, and I don't even think it was 10 o'clock because realistically, like, I think we were at
They
Bullwinkles.
probably close at like 10.
I think they close at 11 on Saturdays or something.
Oh, that's late as fuck for a kid's place.
Either way, they were over serving me, and I was not pacing myself.
They were over serving.
It was their fault. Okay. And so we're like, let's go across the street. We'll go over to San Blas's Mexican restaurant that I frequent, right?
And get some more over serving.
Pretty much. We make it over to the Mexican restaurant. I'm just crushing chips and salsa at like full speed. And I mean, yeah, dude, we were there for like maybe 5 minutes, and I'm like, yep, now I feel sick. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool though. You know, like I don't make a big deal of
I
it.
was waiting for this.
I just get up.
When does it go downhill?
I go over to the bathroom, you know, and I start yakking in the bathroom, and I'm in there for way too long, you know, and like Abby texts me, and she's like, "Are you okay?" Starts calling me. Hey, she's like, "Are you fine?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just fucking throwing up a little bit in the bathroom, you know, just being an adult, handling my liquor like an adult." And then, so we leave San Blas. Oh, no.
I loved it. Like, you're just so fucked up, throwing up in like a random restaurant. And it's like, it's not a bar, it's not a club. Like, they don't typically have people throwing up in their bathrooms. Could you imagine you're just like out to dinner with the family? You take your son in there. You're like, why is this dude violently throwing up in the fucking bathroom?
Well, luckily they were single-person bathrooms.
Ah, okay.
So if anybody had to go to the bathroom, they were fucked because I was in there for like 15 minutes. I told Abby what I wanted before I went in there. Or maybe I ordered, you know. I get back out to the table, you know, and the food's there. And I'm like, cool, okay, now I'll be fine, you know. Because that's the other thing is me and Tim, we didn't eat all day long. We ate a breakfast at like 8 a.m. And then
Burgerville breakfast.
what?
I said a Burgerville breakfast, I'm sure.
No, it was actually a gas station. It's like powdered eggs and shit that we were eating.
Powdered eggs?
It wasn't actually powdered eggs, but they were the egg patties. They're just like frozen, and then they just order a fuckload of them. Either way, it was a gas station breakfast burrito. Wasn't the best breakfast. And then yeah, we worked until like 5 o'clock, and then yeah, we're over at Bullwinkles at like 7:40, 8 o'clock. Yeah, at the Winks, dude. So I hadn't eaten for probably 12 hours. I'm completely empty stomach, just pounding alcohol, which is always a bad idea.
Oh yeah.
And last time I was with
a fruity. It's got
and last time I was with Tim, I handled my liquor so well. We'll maybe get into that story
I'll
later.
tell you more about that later.
But yeah, so we're over at San Blas. I come out of the bathroom, try and eat a little bit of the food. Can't eat any of the food. I'm like, okay, wrap it up, and I'm like, I'm going to throw up again. So I just go out front this time. So now I'm just sitting out front. But Abby and Tim, they're sitting in one of the booths, like right up against the window. Well, I took one of the outdoor dining chairs and I put it right next to them. And I was pretending to eat food like through the glass. I'm like, give me some of that. Like trying to grab at it. And they're like laughing and shit, Get in the car. Because they just wrapped it up.
Are you guys getting looks from people?
Yeah.
Dude, I can just imagine that shit would be so funny.
Well, last time I got really drunk with Tim, I was being a fucking menace. And I was being a little bit of a menace like this night too, So like if anybody was looking at me, I didn't give a shit, And so they like try and do to-go containers, and get it all packed up. Abby immediately picks up my chimichanga that I haven't even taken a single bite out of, and it fucking falls right onto the floor, And the ladies are like, we'll make you another, and she's like, it's okay, it's okay. Well, they made me a whole fresh-ass chimichanga, so we tipped them good, and everything. But so we leave San Blas, and
like, this guy's gonna need some food.
Yeah, they're like, he's gonna need it. This was the coolest experience I've ever had, Colby. We hop into the car, and Abby starts driving to take Tim back up to his house. So we have to go get up onto the freeway. Get up onto the freeway on-way ramp, and I'm like, I'm going to throw up again. Abby pulls over to the side of the road. I'm just fucking yakking all over on the side of the freeway, like on-ramp. And then she like got like a bucket out of like the back, and had like a garbage bag in it and everything. And so I'm just like throwing up into this garbage bag, and I like look up, and as I look up, I see that there's like cop lights behind us, and I'm like, oh fuck. There's like the blue, the cherries and berries, baby. And I'm like, what?
I had never heard that, and I just was looking. I was on Instagram, and Sherwood police popped up. And I was like, is this like Sherwood? Clicked on it, and it was, and I looked, and one of their posts said that, and I was like, so I had just heard it right before you came over, and then you said it, so that was weird.
The cherries and berries, dude. And so I like look up, and I'm like, ah, shit. Well, it'll be, I'm immediately like, I mean, we're fine. I'm fucking drunk as shit. Abby hasn't drank, and she's driving. Tim's fucked up in the back seat, so I'm like, dude, we're all clear, like pull us over. I was like, pull us over.
We're gonna have some fun.
Oh wait, we're already pulled over. You fucking dumbass, dude. We already did half your job.
Did half your job?
And I'm like, dude, hopefully he's cool, and all this, like the second I even realized there was the star, the fucking red and blue behind us. The second I saw it, he's already at the window, and he walks up and he's like, how we doing tonight? And I'm like, not very good. I was overserved at Bullwinkles,
Immediately puts blame. I was overserved at the Winks. Love it.
And he just starts laughing. He's like, I've been there before, buddy, and I was like, she's completely sober, he's drunk as hell too, but she's driving us home. And he's like, well, thank you very much, and starts like, he's like laughing with Abby. As I'm like saying that, I'm like, and he's like, the Bullwinkles will get you. That's literally what the cop said. And then fuck, what else did he say? He said something else that got me so hard. He was like, I've been there before, buddy. He was like, good luck, and literally left. Didn't ask for anyone's ID. Like the most, like, I don't.
Okay, well, there's you with that beard, and then there's Tim.
Yeah. Yeah. We're both of age adults.
Yeah.
You know? But I mean, I thought he would have. I'm assuming what happened because Abby was like, well, he was behind us for a while before he turned on the lights, which I didn't know. And so I was like, oh, he probably like ran the plates, clean insurance, clean
Yeah.
record, you know, like nothing out of the ordinary, and then walked up and saw that. He was like, do you guys have water? And Abby's like, I got it right here for him. And she's like, and he's like, you got him all prepared, you know? And he was just like, yeah, he was just like, have a good night, guys. And then he just bailed.
That's dope.
It was
That is so
it was like
funny.
the perfect police experience. I was like, this is exactly like, if this happened all the time, like, I wish we would have filmed that.
That'd be a funny
Because
fucking...
that would be a good one to toss up on the Instagram, because then everybody could be like, okay, not everybody is doing what it is on Instagram.
Well, and that's what popped up that I
And
saw.
don't hit me with the white privilege thing. Abby's Mexican. And she was driving.
And Tim looks somewhat Mexican.
Tim's gotta be something.
Dude, he's definitely the white Hispanics that you see.
Yeah.
With the facial hair, yeah. But the post that popped up, it was the cops at Langer's bowling, like bowl with a cop night for like trying to be like, oh, cops are good. See, come hang out with us. Like, we're
really?
nice. And so they were doing like the
When was
look better
this?
shit. I have no idea. A
Colby,
couple nights ago.
Do you understand how fucking bad you are at marketing? What are we doing right now?
Bowling night, I guess?
The Bowling Night Podcast. Why are we not bowling with cops, dude? We should go bowl.
I sent it to somebody. Let me grab it.
We
real
need
quick.
to go to the cop bowling
They
night.
have to do it again.
They better fucking do it
Dude,
again. I can't
we
believe
should
we
go
missed
get
that.
trash.
That's what I'm saying. Just be a menace with the police. But like, because that's the thing is, I don't turn into an asshole.
6 days ago. You remember that guy?
Oh,
He looks familiar as fuck.
dude, this is dead. Yep, this is dead ass. One of the guys that arrested us that night with the TPing thing. I think he was the only. I'm pretty sure this was the only guy that was cool. Like,
Who arrested us?
what for the TPing thing when I was in like 8th grade for the criminal mischief
Oh, I don't.
or freshman year of high school. I
don't
know I've
remember
told you
that.
this story. It
Probably,
was with like me, Justin, and Caitlin,
Oh, yeah. I vaguely, yeah.
and there was an adult there.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, why is my son the only one getting in trouble when an adult brought them to the TPing incident? Like,
Yeah.
And this guy was like, I understand, you know, like there's probably a little overkill because there was like 6 cops, including the chief of police was there.
That's crazy.
And it's like-
Hershey squirts. Officer,
Yes.
fuck that guy.
But that guy
that
was
guy's a fucking.
that guy was actually cool. He was cool with my mom. I think he's the canine unit guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Officer is a fucking dickhead though. He pulled us over for a similar thing. We were on our longboards and he pulled us over, and I was with Justin. And the only one who was cool, I think that guy was actually there too. And then Officer one,
Yep.
they were cool.
He was hit or miss. Yeah.
He was always cool with me though.
Oh.
I'd seen him a couple times, so he was cool with me. But we were standing there and just fucking yelling at us, trying to say we came from the high school. We tipped over all the porta potties, all the dumpsters. And he was like, it was 6 kids on longboards, and we were like, well, there's 7 of us, and one of us is on a bike. And like, we were like, so the numbers aren't the same. Facts don't line up.
Numbers aren't adding up here.
Yeah, and it was like 5 minutes before. And we were like, no, we rode down from Snyder. We came right down the hill. And he's like, did you stop at the stop sign on the bottom? We were like, yeah. We were like, yeah, on a longboard without brakes. We stopped at the bottom of a steep ass fucking hill. We were like, shit, we didn't think about that. Like, we were like, yeah, we came from Snyder. We just rode down the hill. We didn't come from the high school. And he's like, oh, so did you somehow stop at the bottom or did you blow the stop sign? Because that'd be against the law. And we were like,
I don't think
we stopped.
I think it would have. I don't think that holds up whatsoever. That's some fucking bullshit. Did you stop at the stop sign? I think I can legally say no. If you were nowhere near it, like if the cop was
And
no.
it's a fucking longboard. I'm not gonna damage a car. I'm gonna get damaged, dude.
Well, I mean, but you know what I mean. Like, cops can't be like, oh, yeah, we heard you ran a stop sign.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's the most insane thing
I've
I've
had
ever...
people call the cops. He did this, and then nothing happens.
Yeah, because
they
it's
can't
like...
do shit.
Well,
and I definitely did do it. It was crazy.
Did you tip over the porta potties?
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we spilled that shit everywhere. And then there's one of those like big dumpsters. There's like the length of this.
Yeah.
And all 7 of us like just shaking, about to get a fucking hernia, and tipped it over. And it's just it like echoes through fucking Sherwood.
Yeah, that
Probably
thing's like a bass
woke
drum.
up damn near fucking everybody on that half of the town.
Was it at night?
Oh yeah.
Like late?
It was like probably 11 or something, because they were like, we'll get you guys for no helmets. We'll get you guys for
Curfew.
doing that. We'll get you for curfew.
Yeah.
And obviously Michael, Justin, fuck you.
Yeah.
I know the law, you stupid pig. Like all this shit. And I'm like, guys, I get it. I don't like them either, but can we just get the fuck out of here? Like, let's not escalate it.
Well, that's the thing, is as long as you don't, because I have a very, and I'm sure I've said that on this pod, but I've had a very similar story of knocking shit over, because we came down 99 one time, me, Justin, Michael, and someone else, and the entire way down we knocked over every single traffic cone.
Dude, that was a regular. I love doing that shit. On a longboard, kick.
And then some guy in a minivan was like, knock it off, yelling at us, and we're like, fuck you. And then we pulled into McDonald's.
I was there.
Were you?
And the cop walked into
Yeah.
McDonald's. Yeah, I was there. That's so funny.
And it was the
Oh,
same.
yeah, I used to do that too.
And it was the exact same story where, like, the cop walks up and they're all like, we don't have to talk to you. And I'm like, dude, if you could have just, like, been like, hey, what's up? And just act normal and be like, dude, that seriously wasn't us. Like, I'm sorry.
They're going to just walk away.
They're just going to be like, okay, buddy, don't do it again. But when you're like, we don't have to talk to you. You don't. You're right. So you're just going to keep standing there? Yeah. Because it's like, okay, if this is what we're doing, then we're both just...
I don't remember how that went at all.
It was pretty much that. They just said something like that. They're like, we don't have to talk. And I was just like, hey, buddy, like, I'm sorry. It wasn't us. I don't know what to tell you. Like, well, there was 4 kids supposedly riding down 99, and then they turned into the McDonald's parking lot, and now there's 4 kids with longboards sitting in the McDonald's. So, you
Dude,
guys...
we were such good criminals.
You guys kind of look suspicious.
There's so many times like that where it's like, no, we don't fit that description. Exactly fit that description. It's like, it wasn't us.
Nah, his longboard was red.
What color was the longboard, sir?
We saw those guys too.
Yeah, I think they actually went to Taco Bell. They kept going straight. We turned off.
We saw them. We split off. No idea who they are.
We didn't want any part of that, mischief.
Oh, dude, that's fucking hilarious. What else you got? I got another good one, but I want you to go for one.
I was trying to think there was something I was going to say of one of those things we were talking about.
I got the fucking hiccups from our brain food this morning.
Dude, I got I was at Home Depot the other day, and I walk out and I hear tamales, tamales, and I was like, oh, I need some lunch. Like, I didn't fucking pack anything, and like, I was working at that job, and I don't like to like leave and go get food because then I'm gone for an hour.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to get shit done quicker.
Dude, holy shit, the group chat is blowing up right now.
Is that Snapchat?
Yeah, I need to...
That's why I have it muted.
There's fucking
I have
38
everything on
notifications.
What the fuck's going on this morning? There hasn't been 38 notifications in like 3 weeks.
Okay, 1 second, guys. Might be a quick break. We got to make sure somebody didn't just die.
That's a good point.
Yeah, okay. They're just talking about Spirit Peaks the other day. Sorry.
I'll
get into it later after that, but
what were we doing?
Okay, so I'm sorry, you heard tamales.
Oh, and so I was trying to find the guy. I go over, I get 2 tamales. They're fucking teeny tiny. And like
Okay, you're good.
All right, so I get my tamales.
Yep.
I tipped the guy. They seemed real authentic. He pulled them out of his trunk.
The best way to get tamales.
Yeah, and I got the green chicken ones.
Yeah.
I fucking eat one of them on the way to the job. The job's like 8 minutes away. It takes me the entire time to eat it because it's so fucking hot. And I'm hiccuping while I'm eating it. Like, I take one bite, and when things are too spicy, I'll start to hiccup.
Yeah.
So now I'm hiccuping in between bites, and I'm, like, inhaling food, choking, coughing. It's just a fucking mess, but it was delicious. I'm sweating. I'm dying. I get to work. I walk past the fucking Mexican painters, and I just so badly want to be like, your fucking cousin or something fucked me up,
Your
dude.
cousin fucked me up.
Like, dude, this is crazy. These things are way too fucking spicy. And I go upstairs and thank God, like, the homeowners aren't there. They're moving out. So they've already moved out and they're just having all this work done to sell the house.
Yeah.
So it's just me and 2 painters there. They're working downstairs. I'm in the master bathroom by myself. So I close the master bedroom doors. I close the master bathroom doors. And then I close the door to the toilet room. Because I fucking go in there and blow the fucking shit up, dude. Like, as instantly I, like, sit down and I was like, oh, shit, like, that is awful. And I was, like, going through it in there. And it's going to get a little, TMI. I fucking wipe, and I'm like, how am I bleeding? Like, already, dude? I was like, what the fuck did this shit do to me? My asshole hurt so bad, and it was on fire. And I was, like, trying to wipe, and it hurt so bad because now the spices are, like, in my asshole.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I haven't even had any other spicy food in, like, the last week.
Yeah.
I ate that 8 minutes ago. How the fuck is it coming out of me right now? And then, like, the rest of the day, I was on the toilet, like, 4 times. Oh. And I was like, God damn it. I didn't eat the other one. I almost gave it to the other Mexicans. I was like, I wanted to, but then I was like, yeah, if he fucking ends up on the toilet, he's going to be like, this fucking white guy fucked me up.
A la diabla.
Well, and they don't speak any English.
Yeah.
Like, so we can't communicate. And their boss is Korean. And he hardly speaks English.
Does he speak Spanish?
I don't think so. I haven't heard him speak. When they speak to each other, it's like, it is English. So they don't speak English, but they know, like, a wall.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but it's like one word things.
Yeah.
And so, like, a wall. And I'm like, a what?
Yeah. A wall.
Yeah, and it's a wall. And I was fucking confused because, yeah, whatever. But it was just fucking funny. And so I was blowing up the bathroom all fucking day long.
Do you think you were wiping too hard?
No, I think the fucking...
They got you that hard?
Huh?
It got you that hard? I mean, that's insane for if you truly, like, ate it and then 8 minutes later you were bleeding. I don't think that it might be
I don't think I was
unrelated.
wiping that hard. I think usually I have an issue where when I eat super spicy food, this happens.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you rocking a hemorrhoid?
I don't think so.
You might be, bro. Because, dude, and
I don't have any pain.
This is coming from a place of zero judgment because I think I've got one. Because occasionally, yeah, I forget yours does the thing too after 30 minutes. I should have pressed the button. No, yeah, dude. I think you might be rocking like a hemorrhoid or something.
Aren't they supposed to be painful or something?
Yeah, well, they are painful only when they're like flared up, though.
Oh, I never have any pain
Yeah.
other than fucking.
I've wiped though and had like a little bit of blood before. I've been like, and
That
then
happens
I
quite
kind of have to like
frequently
just
to
like
me.
hold like some toilet paper on it for a second, and then it usually stops. But yeah, I don't think that's great if you're.
No, it happens to me quite a bit.
Yeah,
Like way too often. I saw like some random thing, like some health article on Google, like one of the suggested ones, and I'd clicked on it one time, and it was saying like if you see signs of like blood when you're wiping, like it could be all these different things, to see a doctor. And I was like, it's been like 6 years. I never thought it was a big deal. I was like, I'm just gonna keep going.
yeah, dude. Honestly, here in a minute, I think I'm gonna have to go from the Wendy's, dude. It's getting me. Dude, that's hilarious. Yeah.
It just reminded me. I had we had Wendy's spicy nuggets the other day.
Oh yeah.
Grace and I, and it fucked my stomach up. Not the spiciness, just the fact that it was Wendy's, and it was right after we like had done that cleaner diet for a little bit, and so I go in there and I didn't shut this door. Actually, she was in there too. I went into because there's a second door.
Yeah.
So I shut the second door, turned on the fan, and it's like one of those like cartoon poops where it's like fart, blowout, splash, splash, weird sounds, like all gurgling, like all this shit. And she goes, and I thought she was joking. It smelled so bad immediately. And the sound, she goes, I thought she was joking. And I was like, oh, come on. You're in the other room. Like, get out of the bathroom, baby. And I hear her walk out here and go, and I came out and I was like, was that real? Or she was like, yeah. And I was like, that's sorry. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's crazy.
Dude, yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago now, me and Abby, we were kind of like, we weren't fighting, but we were like, you know, just arguing, having like the stupid little arguments where you're like, meh, at each other. And like, and we were cleaning her room because we got that king size bed, so we had to rearrange the whole room. And so like, that's why she's all stressed out, you know? And so we're kind of like beefing a little bit. And then like, all of a sudden I'm like, burnt. And like, but it's completely silent in the room, you know, and I'm like helping her clean, and then I like did it again, like I farted like 4 or 5 times, and she's like, excuse you. Like, I was like, but I was like, we were beefing hard enough that it was like, I'm not even gonna say I'm sorry, I'm just farting now. That's what we resorted back to.
I fucking never say I'm sorry. I'm gonna be sitting out here and do the same thing. Like,
no, I mean, I don't like, I'm never like, I'm so sorry. It's always like, excuse me, you know, like, or some, you know, like I acknowledge it, but yeah, it was just like, bam.
You do long ones?
Oh yeah, buddy. Like,
I'll
I mean,
do like 4 in a row for like a minute and a half. And Gracie's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go to the bathroom, dude. I'm like, I don't have to poop. I don't feel it.
I do.
And 10 minutes later, I'm on the toilet. And she's like, I told you.
Dude, I'm like legit, like
a child.
I'm like legit about to pause the pod again, dude. Like, there's a brown snake playing peekaboo with my ball, dude.
Don't worry, we're on a brown couch.
Dude, I know.
You can go. If you need to.
Well, but it's kind of making me like talk faster and be like hyped up for it. I'm like, okay, I've got one for you, and I think if it would have happened the day after, I probably would have said more, but. Needless to say, okay, so my great grandma passed away a while back. You know, we had talked about that back in like last August, I think, and so we've been finally cleaning out the house because it's on the market, all of that jazz. Big ordeal when we went down there to go clean out the place. Needless to say, the police were there. And I'm literally just gonna leave it at that. It's so fucking funny, dude. I'll tell you the story after. But I tell Abby I'm gonna go help clean out my great grandma's house, and then like I send her a Snapchat after like an hour and a half of the police there, and she's like, "Dude, your family is so fucking trashy sometimes." Either way, it wasn't on us. Either way, we had to clean out the house. Started cleaning out the house. Some people weren't excited we were cleaning out the house. But it doesn't fucking matter because the house is literally on sale right now. Like, you could buy the property right now. We need to get the fucking thing cleaned out whether you want to or not. Whether you think we're stealing all of the valuable stuff or not. I stole a bunch of valuable stuff. Would you like to hear about the valuable stuff that I stole, Colby?
I'd love to.
I took about 4 things from my grandma's house, okay?
It's like treasure hunting.
Yeah.
Your dead relatives.
Yep, pretty much, dude. I didn't even want to fucking
It's like
go down.
tomb raiding. That's what I was trying to get
Dude,
at.
I did not want to go down there because I figured some shit like this would happen. Either way, though, the things that I stole from my grandma's house, I took a 3-part VHS documentary of the Nazis because it has crazy swastikas everywhere all over the box. I'm like, that's hilarious.
I need that.
I'll take that. I do like. That's the thing is it's like the police had to come because there was an altercation because some of the family members are like they're stealing all of the good shit. If they see this and they decide that
That is so fucking
I know,
funny.
right?
Could you imagine the cop? So your cousin is taking the VHS you wanted?
Yeah.
Be right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way. If anybody that had a problem with me being down there taking these things and you want to share, I'll share it with you. I'm pretty sure I'm the only fucking person that has a VHS player still hooked
I thought
up.
you were going to say you got a VHS player, and I was like, I'd take that too.
I wouldn't be a bad one. There was a couple down there.
Oh, damn.
I don't think anybody was concerned about the VHS players. Okay, so I took the Nazi documentary because that's insane, and I was like, I'm taking that. But yeah, so if they want to share, hit me up. We'll share, or you can just have it. I don't even really need it.
I'll just keep the box.
Yeah. No, you can have the box too. I don't even really give a shit. I was just like, I haven't seen something like that in a very long time. I was like, I'm taking that because that's wild. So I take the 3-part Nazi documentary. I also took a picture of my grandpa when my great grandpa that had passed away like 4 or 5 years ago. At one point in time, an owl flew into their greenhouse and got like trapped in the greenhouse, and my grandpa decided he was going to nurse this owl back to health. A fucking full-size barn owl, right?
That's crazy.
I'd have to imagine
owls
this is...
are cool, but they also scare me. I literally just got the shivers.
There's this picture of him reaching at the thing, and it's like, like trying to kill him. And like one time I went down there when the owl was down there. I remember, and I was like a little kid, and I like went over to his house, and his hands were all fucking tore up and shit from the owl.
Yeah, dude, those fuckers are vicious. They're crazy.
But yeah, so I took the Nazi documentary. I took the owl. I took this fan thing.
The picture of the owl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah, not the owl. I didn't.
I took the owl.
I took the owl. No, I took the picture of the owl with my grandpa or whatever.
I can see why they'd call the cops on you for that. They're like, "That's my animal.
That's my owl."
That's my endangered animal.
There's this big ass fan that my grandma's had on her wall forever. It's like this little like antique like wooden fan made out of wood. I just took it. I'm like, me and Abby, we can hang it up in our house or something. Again, if somebody needs it, they can have it. Now, the main favorite item that I stole from my grandma's house is a VHS tape of my great uncle Lauren doing his life story.
That'd be dope.
Right? That was actually really fucking cool.
My grandma did like a book.
Really?
Yeah. Sort of. It's like a journal. It's just a bunch of journal entries from like throughout her life.
Yeah.
And it was fucking weird as shit to read. Like weird, interesting, weird. Because you're like, you see how they think at like a younger age. You're like, that's fucking
insane.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just fucking weird.
Well, and see, I've thought about doing this for when I die too. This was probably the coolest thing that I took was this fucking VHS tape. But honestly, like, same deal. If somebody else wants it, they can have it, whatever. I've already watched it at this point. I don't think anybody has a VHS player hooked up right now. So it's like, I don't think I'm like taking anything of that great of value. But I started watching this fucking thing, and he's talking all about like, so they were from like this place in Kansas, right? Well, at one point in time, they took like a Ford Model T or a Model A, and they took all of the seats out of the back. And then they brought like fucking 8 of their kids and their family, over here to Oregon. Came over here to work for a while. And my great uncle
just stuffed them in the back?
Yeah.
So they took out the seats to make more room to stuff more people.
Yeah.
All right.
And they just drove from fucking Kansas to Oregon, probably going 20 miles an hour. Like the whole time just talking all about how like the thing would break down on the side of the road, and you're up in like, imagine like those mountain roads,
Dude.
And then just like,
people were crazy back then.
Right?
Like, yeah, I think about that when I go out camping and stuff. I'm like, people used to be on these roads in like, not a Model A, but like an old ass fucking truck doing this shit. And I'm like, these people are nuts.
Right? Well, and so he's talking all about this, and they come back over here to Oregon, and his whole family's working over here, and my great uncle Lauren is young, he's probably like 14 or 15. And so he has like saved up some money, and then he was like, they had to go back over to Kansas to go get like the rest of them. Comes back over here. Now they're working over here. His dad took all of his money that he had saved up from like working like all summer long and just like took the money, And so he was like kind of pissed about that, and obviously probably a lot of other shit. And so he's like, I'm going back to Kansas, like that's where I'm from. That's where I want to be. This guy fucking hitchhikes from Newburgh, Oregon back to Kansas. okay? And he's hitchhiking, literally. He said he got like a ride from like Newburgh down to Portland. Then he found someone in Portland that took him all the way to Hood River, you know? He's telling this fucking crazy ass story. He gets back to Kansas eventually. I don't know, after like 4 or 5 days, right?
Okay, I was going to say like weeks.
Yeah. No, I bet you it was probably a week, you
Yeah.
know? He makes it back to Kansas, and this was the craziest part of the whole document, or like the whole thing, his whole story that he was saying. He makes it back to Kansas, and mind you, he's like 16, 17 years old at this time. And he comes roaming into Kansas at like 2 o'clock in the morning, or like probably a little earlier than that, because he said it was like midnight, whatever. But it's dark, and he goes into a bar. And he like asks the lady behind the bar, he's like, hey, you know, I just got it back into town. Like, do you know anywhere I could sleep? And she's like, well, I don't. But right over there at the end of the bar, that's the sheriff. Why don't you go and ask him? He goes and asks the sheriff. And the sheriff let him spend the night in a jail cell to like then get enough rest to then make it to the rest, like the other spot in Kansas that he was actually heading to.
That's fucking, dude. Those life stories,
He said,
like that,
and
like that fucking makes a life, dude. That would be fucking. That's some experience,
right? He was like saying, he was like, you know, he didn't close the door, and as long as you don't close the door, you don't have to do any of the paperwork, you know. So I just slept right there in the cell that night, you know. It's like, holy shit, dude, that's so crazy.
That's a dope story, dude. I wonder how long it took them to drive from Kansas to here,
dude. Well, and that's what sucks is so like. After that part of the story, shortly after that, I'm only like 20 minutes into the VHS, it just goes blank.
Oh, that blows.
And I was like, no, dude. And I'm like, oh, that sucks, you know? And so I like start fast forwarding through the VHS trying to see if it like picks back up somewhere. And it turns back on. And I'm like, oh, yes, dude, here we go. It's going to like continue on. It's a completely different house that he's in, completely different day. And he starts back over at like 0 years old. And then he only goes to like 3 years old. And then the thing fucking cuts off again. That's
sucks.
the rest of the VHS.
That sucks. But that little part's cool.
That little part of the story, though, I was like, dude, that's so insane that he hitchhiked all the way back to Kansas, found a sheriff, and he's like, yeah, I guess you could sleep here tonight. Like, could you imagine? What are the odds that would ever happen nowadays? You know what I mean?
Fuck no.
Like, one, the sheriff's not just going to be sitting in the bar.
Yeah, that for sure is not going to be happening.
And then number two, even if he was there, he's not
really too much legality and liability.
We can't have you doing that, you know.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, you just like hitchhiked to the Midwest and then just fucking stay in a jail cell that night?
Dude, life back then would be crazy. Like, you don't have, like, and then when you're on the road, you better remember phone numbers, and then you got to find a payphone, and then, like, you just, all right, Jim Bob Joe left. If we don't hear from him, we don't know. And then, like, you're like, all right, it's been a while. Is he dead? And then all of a sudden, a couple months later, you get a call, oh, he's alive.
Yeah, you get a letter 6 months later, and it's like, yeah, I made it back to Kansas, by the way.
Yeah, dude, that shit would be so, like, it'd kind of be cool to
like
live in and just like, cause the adventure, kind of like the exploring. Like, think about when they westward expansion.
Yeah,
them motherfuckers were crazy. They're like, hey, this land, there's all this comfortability and housing and food and water. Let's just walk that way, and there will be something. And like, what the fuck?
If we walk far enough that way, there won't be any of the comfortability that we're used to.
Yeah, there could be animals. We could run out of food. There could be no water, but we're just gonna go.
Yeah,
like, it makes sense why like there's fucking. It took so long for people to expand around the globe, and some people like talking to some people just about different random shit. They'll be like, I don't, it's all land connected. Why did it take so long for people to get there? It's like, dude, if you're in like a forest and then you're like that's all you know. You also don't know if there's anything outside that forest.
Yeah.
Like back then, like that's your world, that little thing. And then they just walk into a desert with no trees, nothing. They're like, yeah, we're going to go through the Sahara.
Well, that's
who the fuck would do that?
I know.
I'm staying here, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Ice.
Yeah.
So across the fucking Barren Strait and shit? No, fuck that shit. I'd be staying right where I'm at. Or people are like, why
Dude, this
these
is such a good
cultures,
combo.
live in like cold areas and shit like that, like in the Mongolians and stuff. It's like, what if they didn't know that there wasn't cold areas? It's like, yeah. And then could you imagine you live your whole life and like, this fucking sucks, and then you get like captured in war or something, they take you to another country, you're a slave, and you're like, it's fucking nice and warm here. What the fuck? This exists.
Yeah. You're just being completely uprooted. And dude, this is a great combo, but I seriously have to go to the bathroom.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt the podcast real fast, but I really had to poop, dude. It is what it is. Do you want to come and join me and Colby over on the Patreon? That would be greatly appreciated. We're going to try and keep being more and more active with this thing, and it's only a couple of bucks a month. You probably spend way more on coffee, weed, and or DraftKings. So
Oh my god.
go hop onto the Patreon.
Are you keeping that?
All right, bye-bye.